Aston Villa 1, Brisbane Roar 0. Aston Villa win their third pre-season game and ultimately get a result in, for my opinion, quite an underwhelming fixture. You know, something that if it was at 5 in the morning, you wouldn't bloody see me on the camera. You'd be seeing me back in bed. I wouldn't even see my story. You'd probably be seeing Nathan. Because quite frankly, that game was absolutely dull, boring, and underwhelming. Nothing really much happened in the game. Obviously, the goal coming from Cameron Archer, nice, great bit of link-up play from Kane Kessler-Heldon and Cameron Archer. Ball cutting back into the 6-yard box. Passes through Watkins, comes to Cameron Archer, nice finish into the bottom corner to make it 1-0 around the 75th minute. But apart from that, nothing really happened. The ball was stuck in the middle of the park. I thought Brisbane, you know, although we're clearly a different level above them in terms of quality, there was a much greater sense of a bit more good competition between the two, I thought, with Brisbane. Because I thought, to be honest, we'd roll over them. But, you know, they did create some good chances in that first half as they grew into the game after the 20 minutes or so. You know, obviously they signed Charlie Austin. He would only come on in around the 60-65 minutes. Didn't really make much of an impact. And then it was the same with Villa. You know, lots of shots on target, really holding on to possession, trying to play that more smaller ticky-tacky football, retention-based football. And I think, especially in the first half, it clearly shows, you know, summer's not over. There's still more work that needs to be done in the transfer window. The quality in the final third is dreadful. I saw a lot of people mixed on Twitter about it, but I think overall for me, Bailey looked very improved again. Coming into this preseason game, looked much better going forward. Like he was actually starting to use that bit of pace and bit of experience that he has in the Bundesliga and finally seeing it onto the pitch. On the flip side, Traore needs to be sold. He looks like an absolute donkey out there today. I don't really understand why we're still persisting with him. You know, he's one-footed. He's not really contributing that much. He's just aimlessly playing on the pitch. And there's so much greater options going forward, like Kane Kessler, Coutinho, Buendia, Bailey. You know, there's so much more greater options that we can bring on as well. Even Watkins, well, if we want to try and play Archer in the team, you know, Watkins be pushed out there. And then let's also talk about that. You know, the youngsters that came through, the two that really helped us get the goal. Kane Kessler and Cameron Archer. These two are ready for the league. Kane Kessler's been ready for the past year and a bit. Archer has definitely shown, especially for me, if you can score against Chelsea, if you can score as many goals as you can for Preston, he's ready. He's got the mentality. He's doing it in pre-season. He's got that killer instinct, and that is what we need in this team because we're not finding it with Watkins and Ings at the moment. Ings was one-on-one. He flushed his goal. I mean, it was a good save from the keeper, but even still should be finishing it. Watkins didn't really have much of an impact at all in his half. And it does kind of make me feel a little bit worried going forward. You know, Cameron Archer's clearly, for me, seems like the only one who knows where to find the back of the net, whereas these two experienced strikers can't seem to do it. You know, so for me, I would seriously be looking into strengthening that position because we need more killer instinct. We need someone who's going to be taking that kill in the final third. And ultimately, I'm just not feeling it with Watkins and Ings. What else have we got then? Bibikar Kamara, I thought looked really good again. Real sense of improvement. You know, the first game, obviously, playing against Leeds was everyone's first instinct of seeing him in that Villa shirt and he looked really good there. In a team that was lesser of quality, I wanted to see how he could really adapt to it. And it's that feeling of composure, you know, for his age, there's so much, feels like he's been playing for years. His defensive ability and awareness is so great on the ball. And it just feels like a really big step up from what we're seeing with Nakamba and Douglas Luiz. And it's really someone that's going to be really exciting going forward. Augustinson then played in the second half, only got about 30 minutes, which I thought was a little bit disappointing. But from him, he looks alright, looked a little bit composed. Look, going forward, he looked okay, but I think for his first game, it's perfectly fine. I just would have liked to see him give him the 45. And then what else is there? Standout performers then. I thought Cash and Dino looked quite good today, especially Cash. He's back on it again. You know, he's got to be getting back into it. Player of the season for us last year. You want to see him moving forward. McGinn looked quite good, I thought. Driving forward again with a bit more of the ball. Obviously saw the feedback from Leeds and thought, bog this, I'm just going to keep going and playing one how I want to play. Diego Carlos again looking really solid at the back. You can just see the level of quality and awareness in the defensive line that he'll bring. And also that bit of leadership role that he can also bring. You know, someone who's captained his team to win that Europa League final. He knows what he's doing and it's clearly going to be potentially a really good sign from Joe as long as he just doesn't, become a bit inconsistent with what he's doing. And then it's kind of hard to say after that, really. I thought Chambers looked alright. I know there was the switch at the second half. Coutinho showed moments. It really, for me today, it was just about. Obviously, it's always about getting the win. It's always about giving yourself that confidence. But for me, just showing some good performances in a game that really doesn't mean that much because of pre-season. But again, it does highlight for me where we need to improve. We need another midfielder because creatively, sometimes I just feel like we're a bit whimsical when we're playing Coutinho. Sanson's not getting a look in at all now. Chukwuemeka's probably going. Well, not probably. He's going to be going unless there is some magical turnaround. Chukwuemeka's going, so we're going to need one more addition in there. Maybe it could have been Finazaz. Who knows? You want to develop into it. Perhaps, I know Ross Barkley was being offered around on a free. Jesse Lingard's are still available, or maybe there is still someone that he's got in mind if he's going to perhaps try and pursue a Conor Gallagher deal. Who knows? But I think there's some definite work in there. I just think we need something else going forward up top, whether that is a striker or a new winger. We just need someone who's going to take that kill and really put it to the sword when we're against our opposition today. And just something that really, if we want to push on to be this top 7 club that the club is trying to aspire to, you're not going to get it if our only real sense of going forward right now as a goal scorer is in a Cameron Archer kid who's way younger and less experienced than 2 players that we've signed should be, banging in the goals. But overall today, I know it was a really, really dull game of football. But ultimately, it's the 3 points that matters. Villa have seen it over. I believe the next game is Manchester United in this final, or whatever cup it is. I have no clue what it is. That should be a really lively game. Obviously, against Ten Hag's new Manchester United team, seeing who they could be going up against in the next season. And then it's Rennes, and then it's the start of the season. So I would like to believe that by the time of Rennes, a new player will be introduced. And hopefully the Chukwuemeka news will become much more apparent and clear. But yeah, leave me in the comments down below what you thought of the game. Who would you say your man of the match was? And for me, my personal opinion, I'm going to have to go to Cameron Archer. Or maybe Kane Cutter, because I thought he looked quite good going forward. I'm giving it to Archer just because he scored the goal. And again, his age and awareness in that position as well for being the goal scorer, the one who's got to lead the line. He's doing it, and he's really making me impressed. So yeah, in the comments down below. But without further ado, I'm Ben. We'll see you for Manchester United up the Villa with the Pride of Villa. We'll see you later, boys.